employees here. So we call something as engaged employee. Okay. Just think that this is not a theoretical class. This is just how do we go about in skill desire. I'm trying to explain you all what makes you different to enroll yourself with skill desire. So this is a kind of a mode of example, just a mock class for you all. How do we conduct the classes? Okay. So coming back, the as I told you, it's an just a meaning of engaged employee. How do you engage an employee to be productive in the organization? Talks about an HR engagement. So just to go about what are this, just a gist of understanding an engagement drives. What are the engagement drives? What makes a place great to work? Well, there's a very good book which talks about a great place to work. What makes a place great to work for an employee? It may be the facilities, it may be the physical work, it may be the work-life balance, it may be the working activities, or it can be a senior leadership, because the moment we take a company name, we always link them with the leaders. So it may be the policies or the practices, whatever is being practiced in the organization. But these policies and the practices which are framed by the HR, it is you guys who will be doing it, and which makes the company unique. So recognition, who doesn't want it, right? Recognition, everybody likes to be recognized in the organization. So that makes an engagement with an employee. We always we use this word engagement, or engagement is a word where we collaborate. A collaboration or a bridge which is built between an employee and the employer can be termed as engagement. Here, when I take the word as engagement, does not stop when you recruit a person. It is also which takes along with you with career opportunities and training and development. The employee always foresees himself whether, well, am I valuable to this organization, whether I am valued, whether my services have been valued. Can I see my career growth in the organization? We always talk about competency mapping in the organization. We always map up with our growth. Always an employee is engaged with this growth. So let us see an example. What exactly is this employee engagement? As you see, it is leadership, employee engagement, and sending men to the moon. What is this connection of sending men to the moon? Let us take an example and understand it. A way back, there was an example. I mean, there in a NASA is a space which is connected to space. So this was a behavior of 3 employees. There was a study which was done with 3 employees. An employee entered, a NASA employee, astronaut, entered a restroom at the Kennedy Space Center, where he saw 3 janitors cleaning. This is not in the rocket. It is, I'm talking about the office in the Space Center, the Kennedy Space Center. So this person was very interesting, and he found out these 3 3 janitors were cleaning the restrooms, who are very, very important for us. So he nodded at the men and he asked them, one person, how is it going? So the janitor shrugged his shoulders and he replied, I clean toilets. How do you think it's going? Right? So the way he told the words, what he uttered, you may think that he is doing a job for the sake of the job, right? So he just moved on to another janitor, and he the way the first janitor answered, the astronaut felt very embarrassed. by his response. So he moved on to another janitor and he asked the same question, how is it going? So this janitor looked up with a smile and he said, see the exclamatory marks over there? We are talking about the communication part also here. So, oh, I cannot complain. I'm feeding my family. So here he's talking about the responsibility. He said a good nurtured way, in a very good nurtured way, in a very humble way, he said this. So now the astronaut felt, okay, let me ask the same question to the another janitor. Then he moved on to the another janitor who was cleaning the floor. So he asked the same question to him, but seeing his face, he felt very happy. I mean, he seems to be very happy on his face, right? So we talk about a non-verbal communication also here, right? So why are you so happy? He asked. So he said, the third janitor said, because I am sending men to moon, right? So what do you think now? Can somebody answer? You can unmute your mic and tell me, what do you feel? Who is the best over here? Who is the best janitor over here? Can somebody answer this? I want an interaction session because yes.
Ma'am, the third janitor who replied with a grin feels to
Yes.
be part of the organization. He is
Yes.
not feeling himself to be just an employee. He feels to be the part of that particular organization. That's why he's so
Yes.
happy.
Exactly right. Exactly right. It is 100% true what you told it, right? So here you feel that because of the sentences also you feel that this particular janitor is engaged with the organization. Why is he engaged? Because he feels that he keeps a trust on that organization, and also he feels that this organization is better place to work. That's the reason he's feeling that I am more engaged to the organization. So how to build this? How to build this engagement in the organization? This is never ever done in any kinds of textbooks. Trust me. Okay. So this is so what would be the conclusion here? The conclusion over here, you rightly said it. Sorry, I didn't get your name. Who answered this question?
Ma'am, I am Colonel Ashwini Das.
Okay, very good, Ashwin Das. It was a very good answer what you gave. So it is a third person, the third man really got it because he has a vision towards the organization. He has a trust towards the organization that this organization is paying me, I'm rendering my services. It is not only that, he's trying to be engaged with the work, whatever is being rendered to him. He feels a pride in taking up that work. He feels a pride in contributing to that achievement, right? So you as an HR, you need to come up with such a, engagement programs towards the employees. As I told you very well, though you put up a lot of efforts in engaging your employees, but still among 10 people, you may find that 2 are not to be engaged in the organization. Other 2 pretending to be engaged, or other 3 may be saying that, yes, I am engaged in the organization. Right? So here we are talking about engagement. Why? I took up this 2 topics for y'all as a mock because your engagement is something concerned to HR analytics, right? So, but who is doing it right is to be identified by the HR, because as I told you, some people, if you take a span, if you take a number of 10, and that 3 people may be pretending, 3 may be saying that yes, I'm there to be working, but 4 may be saying that no, let us spoil it, or they always have a pessimist kind of attitude towards the organization. Whatever you give them, they feel that unsatisfied towards the organization. But how do you turn these employees to be engaged in the organization is all with the HR. Just moving on, just to understand with the examples, Google is a very, very renowned company where a Google employee has always feels that he's more secure. Why do you know? If you see the picture, I mean, you can see that in the picture, it is a kind of not a workstation. It's not a cubicle workstation. They have a unique kind of engaging his employees. So there is a creativity. There are no barriers to work. There is transparency in working. This is a kind of working style with Google. So employees feel more empowered. When people feel empowered, it leads to HRA, which we are going to discuss in the next topic. That is HRA, human resource accounting or human resource analytics. Analytics is data driven. HRA is also data driven. So empowered is something connected to HRA. So let us see a video. Okay, I'll just put on a video. You can just watch that video. It's a beautiful video which talks about an employee engagement. 1 minute. I'm just streaming. Everybody can hear?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you all understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Was it a good one to understand?
It was a good one, ma'am. But the last point which said that Gen Z, which is
Yes.
going to take up the maximum load, that
Yes.
is about two-thirds of the workforce, is the
Yes.
only one which is working or going to work. And about the
100%.
boomers who don't work or they are not likely to work, I
Yeah.
think that may be correct, may not be correct.
May not be
I have,
correct.
I
Yes.
have seen people about to retire and
Yes.
putting in effort thrice the time that a newcomer puts in.
Yes.
It
Yes.
just depends how you have engaged him.
Correct. I was just about to discuss with this part of the slide, right? You rightly captured it, okay? Because here, when we talk about the generation X or Y, now if you see, taking this situation, the pandemic situation, right? So we find many people who are experienced people who are trying to work. Am I right? This is what you're trying to say. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
I really want such a, healthy talks. Then only our, the knowledge becomes accomplished. I'm really good. I understood that you're all attentive now. I purposely I had put that slide. I'm very happy. Okay. Okay. So next, coming to HR analytics, why this topic is linked with engagement, right? Why this topic is linked with HR, the engagement what we spoke. As you saw in the previous slides or the video, it is talking about investment in people. What is investment in people? Investment in people, right? Investment in the people, because we all know that HR is considered as a liability or an asset in the organization. Can anyone answer my question? Is HR considered as a liability or an asset in the organization?
Ma'am, I take it as
HR
an
is
asset in
considered
society.
as a
One minute, one by one. I'm sorry. Yeah.
HR. According to me, HR is considered as the asset for the organization because being HR plays a very important role in the organization.
Yes,
They
Aarti.
manage, yeah,
Yes, that's right. That's right.
the HR manage the people in the
Yes.
organization, which
Yes.
is very important. If all the people are organized in the organization and
Yes.
they will do the work effectively, and
Correct.
if the work culture is like if the working environment is happy, then new ideas comes in our mind.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. There was some other answer which was coming up. Anybody?
I thought HR is an important place because of which there
Uh-huh.
are that linkage between people and the organization takes place. That
Yes.
acts as a bridge to create all the things which are necessary for
Yeah.
employee engagement.
Right, Ashwini Das. You said it rightly. But my question here is, do you see, employees on in if you take a balance sheet? Because here we talk about the analytics, which is concerned to data, right? So when it comes to data, it is something like the balance sheets of the organization also is a data. So my question here is, do you see people on the asset side or the liability side? Aarti said it very right. They are the assets. But a very sad part of it, do we see in our balance sheets whether it is in asset side or a balance sheet? Liability side. Yes, Ashwin Das. What do you think about
Ma'am, I take it as it may be looking as if it is not an asset, but in the overall long period, it
Yes.
works as an asset for that particular organization because that
100%.
drives the people to create profits for that particular organization and match
Yes.
the organizational goals.
Yes, you're 100% right, Ashwin. Because here what happens, but the very sad part of this is in the balance sheet, we show our employees on the liability side because we pay them the salaries. The revenue which is generated by the employees is never been exhibited. For example, Ashwin is an asset of the organization. What revenue is generated by Ashwin Das is never been replicated in the balance sheet, which has to be studied and which has to be brought into practice. So HR analytics is one of the subject which relies on the data. As I told you on the top, what I have written, it is a data driven approach. Because an HR analytics is something which takes the data into consideration. It doesn't blindly tell you that employees are the assets of the organization. Because when I say this, employees are the assets of the organization, it tells you why. I mean, everybody feels that I belong to this organization. I'm valued. It gives you a pride, right? As it says that human resource analytics is something concerned to analyzing of the organization people problem, which takes into consideration the training and development part in the organization. Here we are trying to inculcate the culture of recognition. The culture of recognition, because as I told you, who doesn't like to be recognized? Everybody of us likes to be recognized in the organization. Then you feel a pride of working in that organization. You feel proud to be in that organization. As I told you, this analytics takes into consideration, it is the annual employee turnover. How much is the revenue which is generated by this particular employee? Let us understand with an example. A simple question to be asked to you all: why do you go to the hospital? Because you're sick. As I know this answer very well. But how do you choose the hospital? Is it because of the doctor, or is it because of the hospital you're going to choose? Anybody wants to answer this question?
Ma'am, it is a balance of both, but then the doctor takes much more priority over the infrastructure.
Yes. No, you're 100% right. What if I 100% acknowledge your answer, but which is your priority? You said the doctor is your priority. Am I right, Ashwin Das?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So
yes,
what if this doctor shifts to another hospital? What will you do? Will you go to that particular hospital where the doctor is shifted, or you stay back in the particular hospital?
I will go to the hospital where the doctor has shifted.
Exactly right, right? So now, is it not because of the doctor, there is some revenue which is generated for the hospital? I'm not talking about only the revenue part over here. When I took an example about a doctor's revenue is counted not only because how many patients the doctor is treating. It is also because how many patients are walking in because of the doctor, and how many patients are walking out with a smile that they are completely well. That is one reason why you're trusting that doctor and you're walking behind the doctor wherever the doctor is going. Is it not a employee turnover which is completely dependent on the employee? So here the employee turnover consists of the regretted loss also, vice versa. We always talk about recruiting a right person for a right place. An HR slogan says that. What if you recruit a wrong person to the right place? Right? So it is a regretted loss. It is also which talks about the turnover of a particular employee for that particular year. Even though you're putting a lot of efforts, There is an attrition value which follows in the behind the employee image or a company's image. What is an attrition value? It should not be a bottomless bucket. We call it as a bottomless bucket because however you're filling in the employees are exiting the organization. It should not happen that, which comes into employee engagement. Your attrition value has to be very low. So this is all we are going to talk about in HR analytics. As I rightly told you, employees are the assets of the organization, not the liabilities. Not the liabilities. How do you do it? You're going to do it with the help of engagement and with a data driven, with a data which is already there in your hands. How does it happen? This happens only when you engage your employee, not with the brains, it is with the heart also, a heart of the employee. You're going to engage the whole person, not only the brain. This is just an example where I'm showing it to you here. How does a HR analytics works? From where all it takes the data. It can take a data from the demographics. It takes the data from the pay. It also takes the data from the engagement. It also takes the data from the performance. Why it is with the pay? If I give you an example about Infosys or Wipro. Infosys is very well-known organization for its projects, not for the pay. If you give a comparison of Wipro and Infosys, Infosys pays lesser than Wipro, but people are driven towards this organization because of engagement, because of the engagement styles, because of the projects, not because of the pay. Even if the pay is less, people want to be engaged with that organization because of the data, what they have. They understand very well with the data that Infosys pays little less. Still, it goes on with that kind of organization because of the environment. But how does this shape? How does this shape? How does it give a viability to the business? It is because of quantifying the value it adds to the business. We are going to quantify the work of the human resource or the practices, what it can be. Right? So this can be about the HR analytics. You can see over here the very important sentence to be noted here. Without data, you're just another person with an opinion. Opinion do not work. Opinions do not work. It is people-oriented drivers we need in. We should always think about a people-related drivers for a performing business. So engagement, or it can be any kind of HR. It can be recruitment. It can be, the selection of the people. It can be anything which runs only on the data. It is not with the opinions. I hope this was very interesting session for you all. Next, coming up with how do we learn all these things? These were just the 2 mock sessions for you all. The mock classes, how do we conduct the classes? We also engage you all with the theory part, the practicals, which is most important. What actually we do in Skill Desire, we engage you all in theory parts, making you all to understand the meaning of what we are exactly doing. We also take you with the practicals part. The practicals can be anything just like case studies or research papers. Writing a research paper also builds you to be, to create a good environment in the organization. We also create a work environment, artificial work environment, or a creative workshops. With this, we also take along with us with the communication part, because communication is most important. Even if I teach you all with a case studies or a practicals or working environment, which will not fetch you if I don't improvise with a communication. Communication is a part which is a very important part, because we are going to engage people. It is people oriented. Next, what makes you unique in getting certified? There are 3 things to be remembered. Why you need to get certified? It is the right time to get certified. Don't while away your time. Get certified, because we all are with a electronic gadgets, learning with electronic gadgets. This will definitely reflect your personality when you go for an interview. Why? If an employer asks you, if there are 10 employees who have come for a same interview, you will be unique. Trust me, you will be unique, because not only that you are being certified, but there is an upgradation of the knowledge with this kind of certification. Why did I say that this reflects your personality? Because whenever you go for an interview, there are questions which are asked with you. How do you utilize your time? Or what is your strength? So this may be your strongest strength, that you're being positive. I understand this word is giving a different meaning nowadays, but still positive always remains positive. That can be your strength. And this is the right time to get certified. You have practical knowledge, you have a live examples. What do you know? You can better communicate. So this makes you unique. So now the session is open for question and answers.
Guys, if you have any questions, just put it in the chat box. So, ma'am, I have a question.
Yes.
If I want to start a career as an HR, what will be my best pathway?
Okay. A very good question to be asked, Bhavani.
Yeah.
See, we all have undergone a graduation with all sorts of subjects, right? NHR subjects. But here, as I told you very clearly, HR is a subject wherein you're dealing with the brains and the heart of the person, right? Dealing with heart and the brains is being taught with your extra knowledge or extra abilities which you're going to gain. Your academics will not give you how to deal with a brain or a heart, right? So if you want to start your career as an HR, the first thing comes to my mind is the communication. The communication is a most important part. It can be a verbal communication, it can be a non-verbal communication. First, if you are okay with everything, then your followers also follow you.
Okay.
You should understand every corner of HR. It is not only managing people here, it is also managing their abilities, it is also managing their skills, it's also managing their behaviors and attitudes also. So as I told you, why certifications? You may be thinking that I have already done a MBA or a BBA in HR, or I have done some PGDBM in HR. But certification courses will go ahead beyond this to understand who those two are. I was giving you an example. How do you sail in a boat? We are all sailing in a boat. There may be 10 people who will be engaged, 10 people pretending to be engaged, two people will be right away not understanding or doesn't want to satisfy themselves. Whatever you give, they don't feel satisfied. To understand these two, you need these sorts of certification courses, or this HR is most needed to understand these two people, not the others.
Okay, ma'am. So what will be the exact roles and responsibility as being an HR? Three major roles which never and ever an HR should miss.
Okay. The three major things, as you just connected as three, there are many responsibilities of HR, but still you put up 3 points. The most important point is one is accountability,
okay,
engagement,
okay,
communication. Why accountability? Because an HR is responsible. He is accountable to recruit people. As I told you, HR is recruiting a right person for a right place. Vice versa. If you recruit a wrong person for a right place, what happens? You're not accountable over there. You become accountable to bring in the assets to the organization. So accountability. Engagement. Engagement plays a very vital role in the organization because you're going to engage the brains and the heart of the people. Third is with your communication. Communication here, it is not with the words or it is not with your language. It is also with your body language, with your smile. The smile is never taught in any kind of textbooks.
Okay, ma'am.
HR is a person who is going to show the communication with your smile. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There was a question, ma'am.
Yes.
What will be the role of HR in liquidation stage of an organization?
Very good example. Very good example. And very good question what you asked. Taking this COVID situation, the pandemic situation, which is linked with liquidation of the organization, because there are many business which have really come down. I'll give you a good example. One of my friend who owns a garment industry, right? Okay. Last year, when the pandemic entered the country, it was very difficult for her to run the organization because they are engaged into garments. Now, she had a very brilliant employee who was not an HR, but who was engaged in the organization, who was well versed, who felt that this company will give me a good career. She gave a very good suggestion. She said that let us not lose the hope. Let us make the same sewing machines to stitch the garments, to stitch the PPE kits and the masks in a very attractive way. It is not that just the cloth we are going to stitch. We are going to something add on with that. And trust me, now they are in a very good position where they are supplying their PPE kits and the masks to the north part of Karnataka.
Okay.
So this is where an HR plays a very vital role where the company is into liquidation.
Great.
Ma'am, good morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning, Balakrishna. Tell me.
Ma'am, my doubt is you say before which hospital choosing. Yeah, I choose like when I'm going to hospital, is it like how are you? What's your name? And some jokes. He's saying like we have some confidence giving to the patient.
Yes.
Yeah, and also he treat like our patient like a family. He thinking correct. Like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And also he's telling like morning one tablet, evening one tablet, madhyanam. Like he's saying like that.
Absolutely.
He's saying like that. Yeah, some conference coming for me. I'm going to I'm going to home and saying to this hospital is good, like treating very well.
Yes.
He's saying like that.
Yes.
He also he's telling for me some concession for you, telling others also for improvement of our.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And also helps to like any problems also he's telling another hospital, this is hospital my friend only, we have to go there. He's saying like that also.
Yes.
The confidence level is there in the patient, and you understand what I'm saying, ma'am.
Yes, I totally understand. Balkrishna, my question here is, do you go back home and say that this doctor was good or the hospital was good?
Yes, ma'am.
Correct? You always say that this doctor was good. And you rightly said that your, whatever the sickness you have is being gone. The 20% of the sickness is gone only because of the communication. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. That only I'm talking with you.
Yes, correct. Right? So that's the reason. Yes, Balakrishna. Yes, tell me.
Yes, ma'am. Tell me.
No. You're absolutely right. That's the reason I told when Bhavani asked me what are the 3 characteristics for a HR, right? The last one was communication, what I told you, right? If you properly communicate with the employees, 100% the employees will be engaged with you. They will 100% trust the organization.
Yes, ma'am. Because of experience of the when I'm going to the hospital, some fever is gone when talking with the doctor.
Yes, 100%.
Because of the confidence.
I'll give you a right example for this. Just linking with your own example, what you said, right?
Okay, ma'am.
Suppose you're talking to a person, right? You don't know that that person is positive. I mean, COVID positive.
Yeah.
Right? You don't know that he's COVID positive. You're just, speaking to him very casually.
Yes, ma'am.
The moment you know that he is COVID positive, what is your behavior towards that?
Some change, we have to take some care.
Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
so
ma'am.
Here, what I'm trying to say, it is with your willpower, right? Your mind plays a very vital role here.
Yes, ma'am.
So mind is giving you a hint that this person is COVID positive. Was I standing there? What happened to me? All other thoughts will start coming in.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So it is all your mind and communication which plays a very, very vital role here.
Yeah, and that time you have some tensions also is coming and some headache also because of the thinking is more and more.
Yes. So now when you give an example about a doctor says that you are completely all right. Don't worry. Take all these tablets and you'll be okay within 2 days. First thing which is litting in your mind is that I'm okay, right? I'm okay. And if I take these 2 tablets, I'll be completely okay.
Yes.
Right? So communication plays a very, very vital role here. That's the reason, my friends, I told you why you need to undergo a certification course at this moment of time. It is to be engaged. You're engaging yourself with the optimum utilization of your time. It is not giving your ears what is happening on the other side of the world. Don't give your ears. You are okay. You are fine. Try understanding how to upgrade your knowledge. Don't while away your time. So this may be an asset for you to fetch a very good job after a good days to come in.
Ma'am, I have one example, ma'am.
Yes, Balkrishna.
Is because in situation like we have doctors is like a god, ma'am. God is there. The doctor is also there, ma'am. Because of you're thinking of God only, not thinking, you depend on only doctor only.
Yes.
We also thinking about God. God is there, we have to hear, ma'am.
Absolutely. That's absolutely correct.
Yes, ma'am.
See, God, and yes, whatever you're saying is right.
Yes,
we believe in God, that's a trust, which upgrades your mind, which lifts your mind, right? I have, sorry, Balkrishna, there is another question. I hope I answered your question, Balkrishna.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ma'am, there was a question from Abhishek.
Yes.
What points should be considered towards an employee as an HR during the pandemic?
Excellent. I was just reading out the same question over here.
Yeah.
As an HR, right?
Yes.
As an HR, if you're working as an HR,
yes, yes,
we all are working at home from home itself, right?
yes.
Bhavani is also an HR, but trying to engage people to utilize their time in upgrading the knowledge with these kind of certifications. It is not only the earning over here. It is not only the earning for Skill Desire, but it is also a point that Skill Desire is helping out to you all to understand a minimum usage of this pandemic situation. I gave you a good example about one of my friend who has a garment industry. As an HR, it is also your bound duty to engage your employees very well. I see a lot of companies, a lot of organizations wherein conducting a lot of webinars on mindfulness to understand, to engage the minds of the employees. Because it is always that whenever you're sitting at home, sitting in front of the laptop and doing all of your work, because I'm considering the technicalities, the technical employees also who are working technical. Here, you need to engage them as an HR. You need to come up with a lot of engagement programs where you try to engage. So this pandemic situation would be very helpful for an HR trying to understand each one of the employees very well. Just an example taken. An HR now can be engaged in understanding each of the employees so that employee feels I am valuable. Try talking to an employee, each one of the employee in the organization. He feels good. Just a note of a small acknowledged note to him. Send an acknowledgement note to each one of the employees saying that, how are you in this pandemic situation? I just wanted to understand your health. Or how do you do? How are you? Which fetches you a good connection between an HR or the organization or an employee. I hope I answered this question to Abhishek.
Abhishek,
Yeah,
I think so. You're clear.
Yes, Bhavani. Ma'am, this is Abhishek here.
Yes, Abhishek, tell me.
Yeah, so I do have a real life example of one of the my best friend who was affected with COVID in his family. So he joined in a non-profit organization as an NGO. So where he willingly served to the people. Where in return the company, I mean the foundation will repay him with some of the other, as in saying thanks.
Yes.
So
yes.
So my question, and I just want to know your view and opinion regarding to this. So this person has been recruited recently, which is about approx 4 months ago. So he need to get the funds related to his family where they have been affected with COVID. So the organization in the HR department itself, they could not able to provide the insurance policies. But later on, they do provided the bed facilities, as in availability of oxygen and so on.
Absolutely.
So he requested to at least provide an the advancement of his salary, which is the coming month. So they did provide, and apart from that, they could not able to provide anything as much, being as an NGO.
Yes.
So
yes, I got your point.
So I just want to know on your view, on your opinion, whether how could an so that I could able to retain even as in fresher or even as in 4-month guy who has been recruited in my company. So I just want to know from your opinion whether what can I do much more, thinking outside the box.
What sort of company is this, you said? What is the nature of the company, you said?
It is an NGO, ma'am.
NGO dealing with what?
NGO dealing with the education department, where they recruit teachers to provide some interview skills, and as well as communication skills, so that the younger generation can be be an entrepreneur and so on.
Okay, so it is. I just understand that this company is involved into skill development. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Correct.
But it's an NGO. It's a non-profit organization, as you said, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Now, why can't the company or an HR who is there, why can't he engage himself in conducting lot of skill development programs for the government schools? Or why can't he come up with some of the programs where they can engage some programs for the school children, because school children are feeling very difficult to understand, because here the skills are not being upgraded, or neither the knowledge is being upgraded.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
When they are into education line, why don't they come up with some schemes where they can connect with schools? Maybe they can provide the notes, they can provide sometime back, just 2 days back, I was just looking at one website wherein they are dealing with the government schools, where they only for the government schools, especially for 10th standard or the higher grades, they're going to provide a lot of notes. And every week employee of organization peeps in with a Zoom or a Google Meet. They try to understand the difficulties of these children, small children, who are maybe they are going to write 10th standard exams or something like that. They make a study material ready for them, right? Because now there are so many technical things which are coming up where you can make the person understand very well. So why don't this NGO come up with a unique kind of idea which is linked with this kind of situation?
Yes, ma'am. This NGO does involve in the rural and urban areas.
Yes.
So I think you didn't get my question. That I'm so sorry.
No. I got your point.
Yeah. So there was this person who is an employee in that organization.
Yes,
where
but he.
Yeah. Go on, ma'am.
Yeah. No, I just go on. I'll explain that.
Yeah. So this person has been recruited since 4 months. So he was not eligible to gain insurance policies from the foundation side.
Yes.
So
I understood.
he is in a desperate situation where he needs finances towards his family who has been affected with COVID.
Yes.
So all they provided is the advancement of salary of 1 month, and as well as they did provided of medical facility, as in bed booking or oxygen cylinder for that guy. So that is also which is the very long distance from his living place.
I understood, Abhishek. So, there are three things what you said now. Now this person was recruited since 4 months. He already gained the knowledge from this NGO, as you told as you told me that this NGO was into education line, right?
Correct, ma'am.
My answer to this question was, why he has to crib to be in that organization only, when he has already gained the knowledge of 4 months? Why can't he conduct these training sessions for the school children and earn out of it?
Wow.
You understanding my answer?
Yeah, I do got it. Yeah, understood.
Yes. So I'm trying to link this as you as an HR, right?
Okay.
Why you need to crib on the organization? Now the organization has already given you a knowledge which is needed for you. Why don't you add it on and make your own thing and earn out of it?
Got it, ma'am. Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
I think so. I got a question here.
Yes. There was a question.
Yeah.
As an HR, what is your view on job eliminations from Siri?
Yes. Before that, I will club up these two questions. There was another question which says that finance is, somebody is into finance and MBA, but can I do HR position? That's what is the question, right? So I'll take these two questions into considerations. The thing is that here, see, if you're there in finance, HR also plays a very vital role here. It is not that you're working only with the balance sheets. It is also with the communication. You're working with people there. So obviously you can take a career in HR also. Next question is of Siri. Siri, can you just be a little specific of your question? That Siri says that what do I think about job eliminations? What exactly you mean by eliminations here, Siri? Siri, you're there? I hope everybody is with me.
Siri is there, but she has to unmute.
Siri,
are you there? Or can you put it in the chat box also if you want?
No, let her be a little specified. Elimination mean, I think so. It was a question of Abhishek also. A very similar question what Abhishek asked me, because an HR was eliminated from the organization. How he needs to come up. Elimination is again, is it that elimination you're talking about, or is it that when it comes to terminate an employee, how do you take that into consideration? Siri? Okay, I'll answer in two different views over here. The HR eliminations, as I told you, when Abhishek asked me a question of when an HR is eliminated from the organization, how does he take up? So here he needs to take up, nesting his own nest, making use of his knowledge, which is already gained. Or when it comes to job eliminations, the terminations which happen in the organization, it is a very, very, a very diplomatic way of putting employees now, because it is neither the company is wrong, neither the people are wrong, but it is because of the situation. The company does not have its funds to pay to its people. It is always like this. Don't eliminate people. I gave you a very good example about one of my friend where where the company is in a liquidation state, but you're going to gain something out of your liquidation. You're going to start understanding the diversification of the business. Involve people where people can give you a good ideas, where they can diversify their products, where they can engage people in a very different way. By this you can avoid elimination. The job eliminations can be avoided. Where there is a brainy HR in the organization, he will always try to withhold its employees, not to give away its employees. I hope I answered all the questions which were there.
Okay, guys, any more questions from your end?
Bhavani, I'm Abhishek here.
Yeah, Abhishek.
Yeah, Abhishek.
Yeah, ma'am, I'm so thankful to you that you were answered in brief, and I did got your view and opinion.
Yes.
Thank you so much. But one query that I missing out is, as you said, that he need to build his own nest. So what is the first step that he need to put it on his paper regarding planning in his building his own nest?
He has to first identify, Abhishek. He has to first identify his strength. What are his strengths relying on? For example, if I take an example about HR, he may be good in calculating, right? He may be good in communication. He may be good in, recruitment. He may be good in trainings, right?
Okay.
But here he needs to identify what are his strengths relying on. Though you put up all the food in your plate, right? Everything you spread out in your plate, but there is something which is your favorite. You eat everything, but there is something called which is your favorite. So you need to prioritize which is your favorite first, or which is your passion, which is your strength. So first he needs to identify his strength. See, training a small kid, training a small, a teenager, training a graduation guy, training a a master's student or training a employee in the organization makes a lot of difference. The word communication is communicated in a very different way in all these stages. So second thing, he needs to identify who will be his audience, what will be his focus. Then it will just take him over.
Yeah.
If you don't identify your strength, you will be in a wrong place. Though there is a strength within you, though there are skill sets, though there are abilities, you will end up in a wrong place.
Correct. True.
Right, Abhishek?
True, ma'am. Yeah.
Good. It was really very good. A very good session with you all.
Guys, still any questions? Okay. Now I think we have taken all the questions.
Yes.
Okay. Now, on behalf of whole Skill Design team, I would like to extend a very hearty vote of thanks to Dr. Uma ma'am for her excellent and informative session. Guys,
thanks, Bhavani.
Thank you, ma'am. Guys, before ending today's session, I would request you all to please fill the feedback form.
Yes.
The link has been shared in chat section. I would also like to share few points about skill design. See guys, the day has come where we have to talk exactly about real-time needs. Skill Design is India's largest real-time learning platform where students get trained by industry experts along with certification and placement slots. Guys, all technical courses are starting from June 24th. Seats are very limited, so enroll quickly. Visit our website for more details and feel free to contact us anytime. Guys, I hope everyone has filled the feedback form, as your feedback and suggestions are very important for us. Guys, have you done with the feedback form?
So you will provide the certificate now?
Not for this session. Actually, for more details, you can visit our website. And I'll be sharing you the link also. So you can find the courses there. And when you enroll, there'll be a 90 days program and you can get the further details. In that contact number also present. So you can directly make a call and you can ask for the further details.
Okay.
So ma'am, there was one more question like,
yes,
whom we have to choose in difficulty, family or organization?
Excellent. I was just reading out that question. I wanted to answer that question.
Yeah.
It was asked by, how do I spell
Sandhya.
that?
Sandhya,
right? Sandhya. Sandhya, it is a good question. It is a very emotional question what you're asking. It's a very diplomatic answer. Question what you're answering. Asking me, right? It is neither the organization. First comes the family, but the family is linked with organization also, because without earnings, it's not the family. It is not. It is without. It is. Your question is just like this: is the egg before or a hen? Right? Which is vice versa. There's something called as work-life balance. Work-life balance. That's the reason I was telling you, prioritize your work first. Prioritize your options, not the work. Right? It is always that you need your family, same time you need your family also. It is the work-life balance. You need to balance between the two. Otherwise, you cannot stand on the hanging bridge. It is just like a hanging bridge. You need to balance it properly according to the situations. Right, Sandhya?
Thank you, ma'am, for your answer.
Yeah.
Guys, someone has asked me about for the further details. So I have kept in the chat box the link and the number also. So please fill the feedback form. As I already mentioned, your feedback and suggestions are very, very important for us. And thank you a lot for all. And thank you, Uma ma'am, for your best session.
Yes.
And waiting to see you all in our live sessions. Bye, guys. Have a great day. And it was a wonderful session with you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Bhavani.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a great day.